Meet 𝗶𝗵𝗶𝗴𝗶.
He's a very complex, broken little boy with an unbelievable passion for life.
Owner Christine Waldron always wanted a cute French bulldog, but 𝗶𝗵𝗶 came with numerous genetic disorders.
He's had 4 nose surgeries, 2 hips, neck surgery, eyelashes, his throat, elongated palate, and laryngeal saccule.
𝗶𝗵𝗶 cost 15,000 rands, but Christine has spent over R250,000 in vet bills, and he's not even 4 years old. 𝗶𝗵𝗶 is registered with the Kennel Union of Southern Africa, or 𝗀𝗁𝗃, the most prestigious local pedigree registry. The word pedigree refers to a document that states your dog's lineage. But this is by no means a guarantee of quality. It simply means that the dog's records are on file and his bloodline, going back 3 or 5 generations, is traceable. The French Bulldog is one of several brachycephalic breeds, which means its skull is shorter than what's typical for the canine species.
Brachycephalic just means basically a squashed-in nose.
Veterinarian Dr. 𝗀𝗁𝗃𝗍𝗆 specializes in canine reproduction. Those dogs snore a lot.
They've got pinched-in nostrils, they've got small tracheas and many other features that restrict the airways.
Some owners feed them in baby high chairs to stop stomach acid from burning their throats. 𝗶𝗵𝗶's owner turned to Dale Neves, who rescues bulldogs.
People seem to normalize these dogs' health issues, but it's really the dog suffering and battling to breathe.
Dale had gone to great lengths to find a reputable breeder, and her pup was 𝗀𝗁𝗃 registered.
And finally, I got my first French Bulldog. Unbeknownst to myself, he had various health issues. My first Frenchie only lived to the age of 3.
That dog cannot survive in nature. We did this by natural selection. As I say, it was for the cute factor.
This is because bulldogs and some other breeds cannot procreate by themselves.
The existence of certain breeds are questioned, and this is because the caesarean section rate in bulldogs approaches almost 100%.
Online video clips from breeders show how dog semen is collected to artificially inseminate females, who later deliver via caesarean section, often several times in their lifetime.
And this creates an ethical conundrum for the veterinary fraternity, because what can we do? We can't refuse to do these caesarean sections.
With an average lifespan of only 6 years, English bulldogs are known as the most unhealthy breed. But they are now ranked the most popular 𝗀𝗁𝗃 pedigree breed. Breeding healthy pedigree puppies is a costly business, so you could easily pay between 10,000 and sometimes even as much as 70,000 rands for a puppy.
Perception is when you get a purebred dog that the dog is healthy, all the necessary health tests have been done, and that the 𝗀𝗁𝗃 breeders are the most ethical.
But Dale believes some unethical breeders hide behind 𝗀𝗁𝗃's reputation.
Anybody who would like to breed can go and pay a small fee. They can choose their kennel name without having any knowledge of breeding.
Pedigree puppies sell for thousands online, but the 𝗀𝗁𝗃 registered ones come at an even higher premium. As dogs are all the same species, the breeds can mix, but searching for specific genetic traits like the smushed face is why these animals were inbred to create a look their wolf ancestors might not even recognize as canine. Each purebred dog needs to conform to a breed standard, which is judged at shows. Hello! What a cutie pie! Hey? What shampoo does she use? It's more expensive than my shampoo. Very nice to meet you. All the very best.
A reputable breeder is there to improve the breed, not just a money-making concern.
Dalmatian breeder June de Wet has been showing her dogs for 27 years.
𝗀𝗁𝗃 membership so-and-so. That's a start. You need to do your homework.
Cheryl Jacobs breeds Rhodesian Ridgebacks. She knows unethical breeders would put a perfectly healthy pup down if it doesn't conform to the breed standard.
I have had Ridgeless, all right. I do not euthanize them. I do sell them at a reduced price, and I sell them as pets.
Dr. 𝗀𝗁cie𝗿𝘆 teaches veterinary science at the University of Pretoria and used to breed and show dogs.
I started realizing that the main interest was not always that of the dogs themselves. They wanted their dogs to win so that they could look good.
So is it a myth that if you buy a purebred puppy, it will be healthier?
It's not a guarantee that a purebred puppy will be healthier than a mixed breed.
In the past 100 years, 90% of all breeds were created by breeding for specific traits. When it comes to the brachycephalic breeds, the creation of those cute squished noses was actually a deformity that came about by genetically crisscrossing some breeds and then inbreeding those dogs, resulting in the facial and nasal deformity.
Show officials ensure that the breeds indeed conform to the standard. However, there's many individuals that would even say that breed standards in some cases oppose health features.
There is an ongoing battle against some of these registry bodies because of claims that their breed standards blatantly oppose health rather than promote it. But their reluctance to change these breed standards stems from the fact that altering features in dogs may threaten the very existence of the breed in its current form. For example, the Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, bred for a small flat head, is prone to brain damage, which causes the dogs to scratch and cry out in pain. Dachshunds are bred for length, which can lead to disc and spinal problems.
When someone is making money off this is now a commodity. All it needs to do is it needs to breed animals.
NSPCA spokesperson Meg Wilson says many pedigree dogs become their problem.
And in an overpopulated society, why are we encouraging this?
Do you think we are obsessed with pedigree dogs and designer dogs?
I think some people do it for status and they don't necessarily realize what's happened behind the scenes.
Vicky 𝗀𝗔𝗋 of the Benoni SPCA responded to a tip-off about animal health concerns at a breeder in Johannesburg.
We removed 45 animals with cancerous tumours that had burst open, dental disease, emaciated dogs that could barely walk. 13 of the dogs had to be put down straight away. The owners of these dogs are international show breed judges. They also breed 𝗀𝗁cie𝗿𝘆-registered dogs and sell them to the public.
Francesca and Jackie Browning co-own Braganza and breed poodles, cocker spaniels, and the designer combo cockapoodles that sell for 6,000 to 10,000 rands.
Did that surprise you?
No.
Why?
We've been on plenty of cruelty complaints where there are 𝗀𝗁cie𝗿𝘆-registered dogs involved.
The Brownings were charged with animal cruelty and neglect and have been suspended by CUSA. Unfortunately, these dogs can't be adopted until the case is finalized, and that could take years. And if the Brownings are found not guilty, then these animals will be returned to them. The Brownings declined an interview as the matter is ongoing.
Our statement at this moment in time is no comment.
Viewers submitted complaints about purebred puppies which have cost them thousands in vet bills, so we investigated some breeders. The first was 𝗬𝗔 Kennels in Randburg, which breeds and shows English bulldogs. It was owned by Arthur Seeff. Photos from 2015 showed injured and dead dogs, leading to animal welfare stepping in and Arthur complying with their concerns. Now we received viewers' complaints spanning the last 20 years of dogs with serious health issues. Napoleon and Wellington had spinal issues that led to both being put down. Clementine died when her trachea collapsed. Patches had severe hip dysplasia and was put down. And Jezebel's spinal issues have paralyzed her. We paid 𝗬𝗔 Kennels an undercover visit.
So your dogs are very healthy?
We have not got a sick dog on the property, and we got 80 dogs here.
Yeah.
𝗬𝗔 Kennels registers puppies like Arabella with CUSA.
This is the girl, but I need her for breeding.
Once Arabella's show days are over, she's destined to be bred regularly, just like her mother.
How often do they mate? Like every 5 months or
6
so?
months.
CUSA and several experts say continual breeding is unethical because it doesn't allow the mother to recover from repeated cesareans.
I'm in and out of hospital. I'm not in the best frame of mind.
We halted the story to give Arthur time to get well, but he subsequently passed away and there's been no further comment from his family. 𝗶𝗶𝗴𝗆 is another breeding facility selling 𝗀𝗧-registered French and English bulldogs. Our viewers complained that their Randfontein operation, owned by 𝗀𝗃𝗍𝗆, produces puppies with serious genetic issues, like Winston, whose long list of health problems resulted in his death before his first birthday. A caring dog lover took in these 5 dogs because they all suffered from a number of different genetic defects, including swimmer syndrome. 𝗍𝗔 declined an on-camera interview but said that 𝗶𝗶𝗆 isn't a puppy mill and that the 𝗀𝗶𝐶𝐴 has found nothing wrong with her dog's living conditions. The 𝗀𝗶𝐶𝐴 says it can do little about the continuous breeding of dogs with genetic disorders. 𝗍𝗔 says she's one of many breeders dealing with inherent genetic defects of specific breeds.
Am I the only person that happens to? That dog can be in a surrounding where she pick up a sickness.
𝗀𝗧's general manager, 𝗀𝗃𝗍𝗆 says they're regulated by the Department of Agriculture.
There's no such thing as a 𝗀𝗧 breeder. We do not license somebody and say that you are a breeder.
So can anybody breed?
No one can stop anybody from having a litter. The Kennel Union has registered 178,000 dogs over the last 10 years. If we impose very, very strict requirements, all that happens is people stop registering.
As a registry, it's not your responsibility to go out and check facilities and check what breeders are doing.
Under the Animal Improvement Act, we don't have that jurisdiction.
Dogs are your currency. You're not looking after necessarily the welfare of the dogs.
We're not a welfare organisation. I mean, we support them when it is necessary.
Should we not look at changing those breed standards?
So the breed standards are evolving. We automatically adopt those changes.
One study by the Imperial College in London showed that of the 10,000 pugs in the UK, they're so inbred that their gene pool is the equivalent of only 50 individuals. Canine geneticist Mishka Fraser of 𝗀𝗶𝗶𝗴𝗶 Laboratories specializes in testing for genetic conditions.
Something that is inherited from mother or father to child. So a genetic disease might be inherited.
The lab has developed 700 possible genetic tests that a breeder can use.
We're very involved with many breeders, and a breeder will often come and tell me, this is the test I'm interested in.
There are ethical breeders like June and Cheryl who are 𝗀𝗧 members and do test their breeding stock to ensure the healthiest dogs possible are bred, but there are no guarantees. To curb bad breeding practices, 𝗀𝗧 is designing an enhanced registration certificate that shows a puppy has been genetically tested. 𝗀𝗃𝗍𝗆 would like to take it a step further, having an online health registration database with genetic testing results.
These breeding authorities should still take courageous steps, try and make a lot of these things mandatory so that the public out there, have some sort of a minimum guarantee.
In 2017, the UK's animal welfare legislation changed to include a new law which allowed for the prosecution of breeders who knowingly produce unhealthy puppies and kittens with genetic defects. This effectively creates the crime of 𝗀𝗃𝗍𝗆, or torture breeding. But since South Africa has no laws against unethical breeding practices, Dale Neave set up a bulldog breeding council to help breeders test their breeding stock.
We're not expecting the breeders to have dogs that are completely healthy, but don't then on-sell a dog knowing full well that you've bred a dog with hereditary diseases.
Fabio will undergo a lifetime of acupuncture and water therapy sessions to rebuild muscle so he can walk properly.
Getting a puppy is too much of an impulse purchase, right?
Yes, it's an emotional decision. What they don't realize is they're supporting that business because they've just made it possible for that breeder to make money out of them. So why will they stop breeding?